What if you became a giant short-faced bear in the Rocky Mountain wilds? Could you rule? But the jump went wrong. You never reached the modern world where giants were gone. Instead, you crashed into the deadly late Jurassic 150 million years ago. A brutal heat wave hit you. The air was dry and scorching. You gasped for air, but every breath felt like fire filling your lungs. Before you could study the red dirt and low ferns beneath you, several lean shadows silently closed in. 3 ceratosaurs approached with nose horns and rows of hooked teeth. To them, you were just an easy chunk of meat. You tried to stand and run, but all 4 legs shook beneath you. Your paws struck nothing and you crashed into the mud. Before you could turn over, one ceratosaurus clamped onto your hind leg. Pain shot up your spine and your vision went black. Just when you thought it was over, the river suddenly exploded. A 50-foot beast burst from the water, a blood-red sail rising from its back. One swing of its long snout knocked a ceratosaurus down and killed it. The other 2 fled with their tails tucked. You lay in the mud staring at the monster. Its snout was crocodile-like, its feet were webbed, and its sail glowed in the sun. You could not explain it, but one thought crossed your mind. It did not belong here either. It was a spinosaurus, meant to live millions of years later in North Africa. You were both mistakes in this age. It saved you, but did not eat you. It sniffed you, then slipped back into the water. Then you understood. Its mouth was lined with cone-shaped teeth made for gripping fish. It had no interest in a bony land animal like you. It was a fisherman, not a butcher. So you stayed beside its river. It soaked in the water each day, using its sail to release the Jurassic heat. But you had a serious problem. Your thick Ice Age coat became a deadly burden in this world. One blast of sunlight left you dizzy. For the first time, your powerful body felt completely useless. You could not survive on instinct alone, so you began thinking like a human. Head on, you could not beat a 2-ton Allosaurus. And you stood no chance against the sauropods moving like walking hills. You could not even reach their legs. At 1 ton, you were only a mid-sized player here. But you had what they lacked, a calculating mind and a land hunter's endurance. So you changed your strategy. You targeted small, isolated ornithopods. You hid in the ferns, waited for one to feed, then pounced and pinned it down. You also raided dinosaur nests, swallowing eggs while the adults were gone. You even learned to trail allosaurs until they finished eating. Then you moved in for the leftovers. You were not the king. You were the smartest opportunist around. But you also made huge mistakes. Once you targeted a stegosaurus. You thought it was slow and harmless, so you rushed in and bit it. Its tail whipped around, sending 4 huge spikes straight at you. They tore into your side, ripping flesh and spilling blood everywhere. It took you 2 weeks to recover. You never forgot that the calmest-looking animal carried knives on its tail. Days passed. You survived the heat and grew stronger. You and the Spinosaurus became quiet neighbors along the river. It fished in the water. You hunted on land. Neither bothered the other. Soon, you became the 2 outsiders no one in the valley dared challenge. Then the real test came one evening. 5 allosaurs followed the scent of blood and surrounded you. They were true killing machines, each weighing around 2 tons. That was more than twice your weight. They forced you to the riverbank. There was nowhere left to run. Then the water behind you burst apart. The 7-ton Spinosaurus rose up, its red sail blocking half the sunset. You stood back to back, one on shore and one in the water. You did not charge. Your mind raced instead. They were pack hunters. Their strength came from teamwork. Break their formation and they had nothing. So you picked the most reckless one. You kept faking attacks, locking its attention onto you. Step by step, you pulled it toward the river. It charged after you and never noticed the shallow water. The instant its front foot entered, the blood-red sail surged from below. The Spinosaurus clamped its long jaws around the Allosaurus's neck. 7 tons of force drove down with a heavy crack. The 2-ton giant vanished underwater and never came back up. The remaining Allosaurs froze, growled, then backed into the darkness. That night, you rested beside the red-sailed giant by the river. For the first time, you understood what it felt like to have someone who understood you. But you forgot it was still a Cretaceous water hunter. It belonged millions of years later in North Africa, beside endless permanent rivers. There, the water never vanished and the fish never ran out. Its entire body was built for that world. With water, it was a hunting machine that never stopped. But the Jurassic was not that world. The Morrison interior had no permanent rivers, only channels fed by seasonal rain. When the rain stopped, the water shrank into scattered mud holes. This was your shared era, but it was never its true habitat. That year's dry season hit hard nearly 2 months early. The river shrank each day. The fish disappeared, then the water. The sail that once cooled it became a deadly burden. You watched it weaken day by day. It lay in the last muddy pool, too weak to lift its head. You brought prey and pushed it close, but it only looked deeply into your eyes. You always thought the weaker one, you, would fall first. But the one who closed its eyes was the giant that had saved and protected you. The day it died, only the wind moved through the valley. You stayed beside its fallen red sail for a very long time. Later, you became the king no one in the valley dared challenge. Not because you could defeat everyone. Allosaurs weighed 2 tons and ceratosaurs still outweighed you. In a fight to the death, you would lose. But predators know one rule. Injury can mean death. A broken bone ends the hunt. A blinded eye loses the target. Any major wound becomes a slow death sentence. So when you stood upright, nearly 13 feet tall, you became a living wall. Then you unleashed a growl from deep inside your chest. Their instincts made the choice for them. This predator was even taller than they were. Ceratosaurs turned away from 100 feet out. Allosaurs caught your scent and changed course. Even the shaking ground seemed to clear a path for you. You bought peace with ferocity and held your land with fearless aggression. No rival wanted to risk its life testing your limits. But the valley stayed the same, and so did the sunset. You were exhausted, and a familiar sleep washed over you. You took one last look at the land that had never known you. Then you closed your eyes. When they opened again, the burning red soil was gone. Cold grassland stretched beneath your feet. You looked down and saw short golden brown fur. Your limbs were long and powerful, and your fangs were razor sharp. You had become the largest feline hunter in Ice Age North America. The American lion,